They say betrayal never comes from your enemies. I didn't understand the weight of those words until the night my life turned upside down. My name is Emily, and this is the story of how the man I was supposed to marry and the best friend I trusted most betrayed me in the cruelest way possible, and how I made them regret it all. Daniel and I had been together for 4 years. He was charming, attentive, and for the longest time I thought he was my forever. He was the kind of man who opened doors, remembered the little things, and made me laugh until my stomach hurt. I thought I had won the lottery with him. We moved in together after 2 years, and from then on, it felt like life was falling perfectly into place. I worked as a graphic designer from home, and Daniel had a stable job in finance. We had our routines, our inside jokes, and dreams we whispered late at night when the world felt quiet. Then there was Claire, my best friend since childhood. We'd been inseparable growing up. Sleepovers, school dances, sharing secrets under the stars. She was like a sister to me, someone I believed would stand by my side no matter what. When I introduced her to Daniel, I was happy they got along. I wanted the two people I loved most to like each other. And they did. Maybe a little too much. Looking back, there were signs. Subtle at first, then louder, screaming at me when I refused to listen. Claire started showing up more often when Daniel was around, laughing at his jokes a little too hard, brushing against him by accident. Daniel, who once used to make me feel like I was the center of his universe, began to grow distant. He came home later, made excuses about work, and sometimes when he thought I wasn't looking, he would be glued to his phone, smiling at messages he quickly hid. I told myself I was being paranoid. After all, these were the two people I trusted most in the world. How could I ever think they would hurt me? Then came the engagement. Daniel proposed on a quiet Friday night, just the two of us at home. He knelt down with a simple but beautiful ring, and tears filled my eyes as I said yes. I thought every doubt I had was just in my head. Claire squealed with excitement when I told her the next day, hugging me tightly and promising she would help me plan every detail. She said she'd stand by me as my maid of honor, just like she always dreamed. It felt perfect, at least for a little while. But perfection has cracks. One evening, I was scrolling through my phone when Daniel's device lit up on the couch. A message preview flashed across the screen. My heart skipped. It was from Claire. "Can't wait to see you tonight." My chest tightened, but I told myself it could be innocent. Maybe they were planning something for me. Maybe I was overthinking again. But doubt had already slithered into my mind and I couldn't shake it. Over the next few weeks, the pieces started to fall into place. Claire canceled plans with me, claiming she was too busy, yet Daniel would mysteriously be working late those same nights. Once, when Claire came over, I caught them exchanging a look I couldn't quite explain. Too familiar, too comfortable. My gut screamed at me, but I forced myself to smile, to act like everything was fine. Denial was easier than facing the truth. But the truth doesn't stay hidden forever. One night, Daniel said he had to stay late at the office. Something inside me snapped. I decided to drive by, just to ease my worries. But when I reached his workplace, his car wasn't there. My pulse pounded as I drove to Claire's apartment. And there it was, his car parked outside. My hands trembled as I sat in my car, staring at the scene in front of me. I didn't go inside. I didn't scream or bang on the door. Instead, I pulled out my phone, snapped a picture, and drove away, with tears blinding my vision. That night, I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, feeling like my entire world had shattered. But as the hours passed, the tears dried, and something else replaced the pain. Anger. Cold, burning anger. If they thought they could make a fool of me, they were wrong. If they thought they could betray me and walk away unscathed, they had no idea who they were dealing with. I wasn't going to confront them with tears. I was going to make them regret everything. Over the next week, I became an actress in my own life. I smiled at Daniel, kissed him goodnight, pretended nothing was wrong. With Claire, I laughed over coffee, discussed wedding plans, let her think she still held the role of maid of honor in my life. All the while, I collected evidence. I went through phone bills, took screenshots of messages I managed to catch, and even placed a recording device in the living room when I went out shopping. Each day, the truth piled up. Undeniable, ugly, and damning. They weren't just betraying me in secret. They were mocking me, whispering about their nights together, planning to figure things out after the wedding. They didn't even intend to stop. That realization didn't break me. It sharpened me. The engagement party was approaching, a celebration with family and close friends, and I knew it would be the perfect stage for my revenge. I spent days preparing, not just the decorations and food, but the reveal. I compiled everything, screenshots, recordings, photos, into a neatly organized presentation. If they wanted to play games behind my back, I would end the game in front of everyone. The night of the party arrived. Guests filled the room with laughter and chatter, glasses clinking in celebration of our supposed future. Daniel held my hand, smiling at me like he was the perfect fiancé. Claire flitted around, greeting people, soaking in the admiration as my loyal best friend. My stomach churned, but I kept my composure. The time wasn't right. Yet. After dinner, when everyone had gathered in the living room for speeches, I stood up. My hands shook slightly as I held the microphone, but my voice was steady. I just want to thank everyone for being here tonight, I began, smiling warmly at the sea of faces. It means the world to me to celebrate this engagement with all of you, the people I love most. I paused, glancing at Daniel, then Claire. But tonight isn't just about celebrating. It's about truth. And I think it's time everyone saw what that really looks like. The projector flickered on, and the first screenshot appeared on the screen behind me. Gasps filled the room as messages between Daniel and Claire lit up for everyone to see. Flirty, intimate words that left no room for doubt. Daniel's face drained of color. Claire froze, her smile vanishing. I didn't stop. I played the recording of their whispered conversation in my living room, their voices clear and unmistakable. The room was silent, except for the sound of their betrayal echoing through the speakers. Then came the photo of Daniel's car outside Claire's apartment, time-stamped, undeniable. Tears welled in my eyes, but I held my head high. This is what happens when the two people you trust most decide to betray you, I said, my voice cracking with emotion. Daniel, the man who promised me forever, and Claire, the friend who swore to stand by my side. I turned to the guests, my family, his family, our friends. This is the truth. And I refuse to marry a liar. I refuse to stand beside a traitor. The room erupted into chaos. Daniel stammered, trying to explain, reaching for me, but I stepped back. Claire sobbed, begging me to let her explain, but her words fell flat. No one believed them, not after what they had just seen and heard. My parents pulled me into their arms. My friends surrounded me with support, and in that moment, I felt powerful. Broken, yes, but powerful. The fallout was brutal. Daniel's family was horrified. Claire's reputation was destroyed, and both of them became pariahs in our circle. I ended the engagement that very night, giving Daniel back the ring and walking out with my head held high. The days that followed weren't easy. Heartbreak never is. But I had something stronger than pain. I had justice. They lost me. They lost their reputations. And they lost the comfortable lies they thought they could live in forever. As for me, I healed. Slowly, piece by piece, I rebuilt my life. And every time I looked in the mirror, I saw a woman who refused to be a victim, who turned betrayal into power. Daniel and Claire will carry their shame for years to come. And me? I carry the satisfaction of knowing I didn't just survive their betrayal. I made them regret it.